Hi guys, Kevin here. It's a cold, wet, and dreary Tuesday. For a touch of sunshine, I'm going to make a batch of scrumptious spice cookies. So let me adjust the camera and we can get right down to the recipe. First up, the dry ingredients. So into a medium bowl, put 2 cups of all-purpose flour and 2 teaspoons of baking soda. Get all that baking soda out of there. And a half teaspoon of kosher salt. Then for the spices, we need 1 whole tablespoon of allspice. Allspice has a heavenly fragrance. Did I say 1 tablespoon? Yes, 1 tablespoon. And 1 teaspoon cinnamon. And a real special ingredient is 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Let me hold that up to the camera. I actually ground this black pepper, and so it's very fresh and very pungent. And it's just what we need. And then whisk all of these ingredients together just to combine. And we are good to go. Set this aside and then we can put together the wet ingredients. I'll be right back. On to the wet ingredients. In the bowl of a standing mixer, or in just any large bowl, if you're using handheld beaters, add 1.5 sticks of butter. That's 3/4 cup butter. And the butter needs to be thoroughly softened. Also add 1 cup of sugar. And then, starting at low speed and gradually increasing to high, cream the butter and sugar together until they turn light and fluffy. You'll know the mixture is ready when it resembles a very yummy cloud. And this will take a couple of minutes, so I will come back. Hey, my butter and sugar are nicely creamed and they're very fluffy. So now we get the pleasure of adding a 1/4 cup of good old molasses. This is Grandma's brand molasses. She's not my grandma, but you can find this in any American supermarket. And I assume you can find molasses in any European supermarket. So 1/4 cup, in it goes. Slowly drizzle, because that's the only way it will drizzle. Molasses is one of life's little pleasures. And looks like we got enough of it. And then we're going to beat that in for just a few seconds. Okay. And actually, I'm going to stir down the bowl with a spatula just to make sure everything is getting truly combined. And then I'm going to crack 1 large egg into the mix. There we go. And we're going to beat this pretty well. And that's good. Then it's time to add the dry ingredients. And let me grab a spoon for this. And we want to run the machine at low speed. And again, just gradually add the dry stuff. Well, I won't make you watch me do all of this because then the video will be too long and you will become terribly bored, and then you won't finish watching the video, and that will make me cry. So I'll come right back. All of my dry ingredients are in, so I'm going to give this machine one final quick blast. That's it. And for this next step, you want to get all of this wonderful batter, if we can get the paddle off, get all of this wonderful batter into the bowl. Actually, I guess it's a dough at this point, not a batter. And then, whether you lick the spatula or not is entirely up to you. And all we have to do now is cover the bowl with plastic wrap and pop it in the fridge for, let me see, how long do I usually do that? For at least 1 hour. So I'll be back. Okay, my dough has chilled for an hour. And let me show you the next step. We have to take some superfine sugar. You can buy this in any supermarket. And pour it into a bag. And you only need maybe 1/4 of a cup. And my bag is really too large. And I have a dog who's jumping up on me right now, and that's why I'm laughing. And let me show you how to roll out the cookies. So grab some dough and roll it between the palms of your hands into about a 1/2 inch diameter circle or ball. And then drop the ball into the bag of superfine sugar. And I'm going to do several little balls of dough. Throw each one into the sugar. Maybe I'll do 5. There's 3, 4. I hope you can see this. The camera's kind of far away and it's hard for me to see what's on the monitor. And give the bag a shake. Et voila! You have sugar-coated cookies. And lay the cookies on a baking sheet. Mine is lined with parchment paper, but you don't have to line yours if you don't want to. And space the cookies about 2 inches apart. They will spread. And I'm going to finish rolling the cookies and coating them in sugar, and then I'll come back when we are ready to bake. Oh, I forgot to tell you, heat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, my first batch is rolled out, and I managed to fit 20 balls of dough on this baking sheet. The recipe actually makes, 2.5 to 3 dozen cookies. And I'll put these in the oven until the edges of the cookies start to color. And that will be 12 to 15 minutes. So I'll come back and show you what they look like. Okay, my first batch is done. And I'm going to let it cool on a wire rack for about 15 minutes. And then I will transfer the individual cookies to the rack for further cooling. And I have another batch in the oven, so I'll come back. And here is the second batch. I made these cookies even smaller, and I managed to fit 24 on the baking sheet. So I'm going to let these cool. Meanwhile, the first batch should be cool enough for taste test. And I won't pretend that I haven't already eaten 3 of them. So let me fix the camera and I'll fetch those other cookies. I should probably mention that the cookies, as soon as they come out of the oven, they will be very soft. So you do have to let them cool on the baking sheet for 15 minutes and then transfer them to the wire rack for further cooling, and they will crisp up beautifully. And I also wanted to tell you that this is one of the recipes from my cookbook. It was published in 2017, Kevin's Kitchen. And here's the recipe. I call it, can you see it? Autumn Spice Cookies, which was a mistake because in truth, these cookies are delicious any time of the year. And let's have a little tasty. Can you hear the crunch? So good. They are always good. You cannot go wrong with this recipe. The cookies are sweet and savory and tender and crisp. They're all kinds of things and all of them wonderful. So I'm going to make a pot of tea, light a fire in the dining room because it's really cold outside. It's also cold inside. It's still raining out. And I'm going to sip the tea and eat. I'll try to eat not too many cookies. We'll see how that works out. And I hope you'll give this recipe a try. Again, the cookies are really easy to make. I also hope you'll give this video a big thumbs up. And please subscribe. And to validate my existence, I hope you'll post a comment below. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye for now.